I'm Olivia Paulson, class of 2024, Salem softball.
Okay, so you recently signed to play softball at Indiana Wesleyan.
Yes.
Congratulations. So what was that recruiting process like?
Well, it really wasn't what I expected it to be because I didn't even know the coach or really had any connections with him. It was actually another coach that invited me to a camp that he was at, so I went there, and then afterwards he talked to me for like 2 hours after everyone was gone, so it was just us and my parents, so it was pretty great.
Was it a priority for you to get this done with early so you didn't have to worry about it next year, or did it just something that happened?
Not really. I was just letting God take the wheel. He knows what's going for me, so.
Okay, so take me back. What's some of the earliest memories of you playing softball you can remember?
My grandpa being my coach. It was 10-year storm, and he loves the game, loves everything about it, and he was like, I'll do it, and I was like, okay. So he partnered with a coach. Not all the girls liked him because he was one of those people that were like, you have to practice now, and you have to hustle every single time. But I liked it, so.
Obviously it worked,
made
right?
great memories.
So talk to me, currently what travel team are you playing for?
C-20 Bombers, Ramsey.
Ramsey, okay.
Yeah, 18U.
And how important has the travel game been for you to develop as a player to do something outside of the high school game?
More important than I thought it was going to be, because high school, coaches can't get to high school games, which sucks unless you're right next to them. But yeah, so you have to send emails out, you have to go to Twitter, you have to do all this stuff. So it's a very long process, but when you actually get to talk with one, and it's just like all the work pays off, and you feel like you've actually accomplished stuff with all this posts and stuff like that. So
in the summer, when the travel stuff happens, more coaches are able to see you and spend a little more time with you? Yeah. Your brother, it has to be, I mean, you guys, I'm sure, I've got twins, you compete, but to talk about him and how he has been as growing up and just as you developed as an athlete. Yeah, he's always been like my number one supporter. He's always there for me anytime I need to talk. Like, we have these every night sibling conversations. Like, he comes and jumps on my bed and he's like, oh dog, and I'm like, what? And so we'll talk for like 10 minutes and then he'll just go doing his own thing. And then anytime I want to do soft toss or someone's not available, he's always the first one to volunteer. So I'm very blessed to have him as my brother. So what type of things have you gotten from the high school level from your coaches? I know that you're with them all the time, whether it be softball stuff or life stuff. What are some of the things you're going to take away from this program? I would say the true meaning of softball. It's not just about playing a game that you like, because if you don't like it or love it, why are you playing it? I mean, you spend all this time doing this, and you got to find the reason why you're playing, and if it's because you want like fame or something, that's not the reason. You have to actually love it, and I think the family part was the biggest thing that I'll take away from this, because I really developed a relationship with these girls. So as you become more and more successful, especially in this program, there's a lot of little girls looking up to you now as role models. Yeah. If they're listening or watching right now, just what would you tell them if they're just getting into softball? What advice would you give them as they're just getting started? Do it for the right reason, because it's too much time, too much effort to come out here and do this every day, because softball is a game of failure, and you're not going to succeed if your reason is bad and you don't love it. Tell me about winning the school's first regional in a long, long time. It was so exciting. I didn't realize it was that long. I thought they had done it a lot more than what we did. So it was just in that moment with all my teammates, it was just amazing. Was that everything? Obviously it was a goal at the beginning of the year, but was it a goal you girls pretty early on realized you could achieve? Yes, yeah, we did. This group last year was something special, and I think we have another special group coming in this year. It's just our bond is unbreakable. So All-State catcher, you've got an All-State pitcher coming back in the circle. What are your expectations for this team heading into the spring as you bump up to 3A and get ready for new challenges? I think our chances are pretty good. Of course we have Lily. Lily's amazing. No doubt about it. And all of my teammates, like, we can trust each other, and it's just going to keep building that trust throughout the season. That's going to give us success. And the last thing I'll say is, you mentioned a couple of times about your faith. How important is that to you, and how you've developed as not only a softball player but as a person? It's everything to me. Yes. It's just unreal how empty you can feel without it. But as soon as you realize that you have a bigger purpose in softball, and God doesn't care whether you strike out
all the time, or you never make a play, he doesn't care and he still loves you no matter what, and that's a big booster for you.